Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Patsy Reddy, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Sir David Gascoigne.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take a seat. I ngā mana, i ngā reo, i ngā iwi o ngā hoe whā, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki a koutou. Nau mai haere mai rā ki te whare kawana. Kia ora tātou katoa. I specifically acknowledge the Honourable Andrew Little, Minister of the Crown, Air Vice Marshal Tony Davies, Vice Chief of Defence, Air Vice Marshal Andrew Clarke, Chief of Air Force, Rhys Jones, Chief Executive Fire and Emergency, our kuia, Mrs Tiripuai Higgins, and our kaumātua, Mr Joe Harawera. Tēnā koutou. And I offer a very special welcome to today's honour recipients. It's a pleasure to host this investiture ceremony and bring together 8 honour recipients along with their family and friends to recognise the contributions they've made to our country. As Governor-General, I have the authority and the privilege on behalf of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of New Zealand, to hold an investiture for her and to confer the honours to which each recipient is entitled. An investiture ceremony is one of the most important duties I perform as Governor-General, so it's a very real pleasure to resume these ceremonies after the disruptions we've all experienced over the last few months. On these occasions, it's my privilege to bring together individuals who've made an exceptional contribution in their respective fields of endeavour. Some of you have a national profile. Others are well known in your respective communities. But what you have in common is the positive impact that you have made on the economic, environmental, social or cultural well-being of our nation. This will be a memorable day for you and for your family and friends who've come to witness your investiture and celebrate with you. Ladies and gentlemen, as each recipient comes forward, I invite you all to join me in thanking and congratulating them for their service to our country. Catriona MacLeod will now read the citations for each recipient and invite them to come forward and receive this insignia.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms Jan Bolwell of Pairakakariki for services to dance and theatre, Jan Bolwell is a playwright, performer, choreographer, and dance educator. She's been a tertiary lecturer at multiple institutions, a dance teacher for tertiary courses and community groups, and a board member of dance advisory committees, including the NZQA and the Arts Council. She was the national facilitator of artists in schools for the Ministry of Education. She wrote online dance education resources for the Royal New Zealand Ballet and the New Zealand Correspondence School. She founded and directs the Crow's Feet Dance Collective for mature women and has created more than 30 works for the collective. She has participated in international dance conferences and has created numerous bicultural dance productions. Ms. Bolwell runs her own theatre company, Handstand Productions, and 5 of her plays have toured New Zealand. Ms. Jan Bolwell, please come forward. Mrs. Jane Clarke of Christchurch for services to gymnastics. Jane Clarke was the Vice President and Chair of the Building Committee for the Christchurch School of Gymnastics. She was Chair of a 3-club merger committee, which resulted in the establishment of Olympia Gymnastics Sports, now a highly performing club in artistic, rhythmic, and trampoline codes. She is School Programme Director and Event Director for the Christchurch School of Gymnastics. She introduced and developed a school gymnastics program at the Christchurch School of Gymnastics facility that services more than 10,000 pupils annually. In 2000, she chaired the organising committee responsible for the successful delivery of the Pacific Rim Championships to Christchurch. She's been responsible for the organisation of several national championships. Mrs. Clarke is founder and trustee of Gym Sports in Canterbury Charitable Trust. Mrs. Jane Clarke, please come forward. Emeritus Professor Warwick Sylvester of Hamilton for services to science and conservation. Emeritus Professor Warwick Sylvester taught as Professor of Biological Science at the University of Waikato for 32 years and is internationally recognized for his research into nitrogen leaching. He's been an expert witness, consultant, and advisor to local bodies, organizations, review panels, and scientific and conservation panels. As a member of the Tongariro Taupo Conservation Board, he chaired the group responsible for producing the Tongariro National Park Management Plan. He was a key member of the Technical Advisory Group for the Rotorua Lakes. He co-founded the National Tanes Trees Trust to promote the planting of native trees and has led the development and renewal of Pukimukimoki Reserve. Dr. Sylvester shares his expertise with lectures to local authorities on topics ranging from waste management to declining water quality in lakes and waterways. Professor Warwick Sylvester, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Carol Gordon of Tauranga for services to seniors. Carol Gordon is a social scientist specializing in social gerontology. She established and is national convener of Super NZ, a voluntary organization that demonstrates the positive opportunity aspects of increasing longevity and population aging. She's contributed to education, health, and local government initiatives. She influenced the establishment of an elders forum at Wellington and Tauranga City Councils, working with Tauranga City Council to achieve New Zealand's first age-friendly city. She collaborated with Massey University on elder research. She was involved in the set-up phase of Smart Growth and was instrumental in setting up the Population Aging Technical Advisory Group. Ms. Gordon was a founding trustee and board member of Social Link Tauranga Moana. Ms. Carol Gordon, please come forward. Lea la Manua Ainga Caroline Mariko of Pororua for services to the Pacific community and education. Lea la Manua Ainga Caroline Mariko is a senior manager for Whānau Manaki Kindergartens, chair of Aotea College Board of Trustees, and chairperson of the Wellington Regional Pacifica Services Board. She is involved with Kapiti Mana Pacifica Services Network. She has held many voluntary committee and board positions. She was a member of the National Executive of the New Zealand Educational Institute at Te Reo Roa and represented the Institute on the Council of Pacific Education Executive. She leads and organizes events for Pinkalicious, which promotes health and well-being for Pacific women. Ms. Mariko was the Central South Region Pacific Education Coordinator at the Ministry of Education, overseeing the Pacifica Education Plan. Lea la Manua Ainga Caroline Mariko, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Anne Flutie of Whanganui for services to Fire and Emergency New Zealand and the community. Anne Flutie was Secretary of the Waitautura Volunteer Fire Brigade and of numerous local committees. After moving to Whanganui, she began volunteering at the Citizens Advice Bureau. She is a Justice of the Peace and a past member of the Pātea Waitautura District Council, Pātea County Council, Pātea Community Board, and South Taranaki District Council. She has authored 7 history books on local identities. Mrs. Flutie is a member of the Board of Managers of St. Paul's St. Mark's Presbyterian Church, past Secretary of Whanganui Floral Art, and a member of V3A History Group and the New Zealand Founders Society. Mrs. Anne Flutie, please come forward. Mrs. Carol Knight of Levin for services to lawn bowls. Carol Knight is Secretary and Treasurer of the Waitarere Beach Tennis Club, Secretary of the Waitarere Beach Ratepayers Association, and President of the Levin Women's Bowling Club. She was President of the Lyall Bay Bowling Club and the Kapiti Coast Women's Bowling Centre, and Secretary of the Waitarere Beach Bowls Club. She was Vice President, President, and a board member of the Bowl Kapiti Coast Centre, and is now a life member and patron. Mrs. Knight was a member of the Bowls New Zealand Council, Advisory Council, and Games Development Committee, and Regional Executive Councillor for the Lower North Island. Mrs. Carol Knight, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the New Zealand Distinguished Services Decoration, Group Captain Mike Cannon of Napier for services to the New Zealand Defence Force. Group Captain Mike Cannon joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force as an aircraft technician in 1991 and has since made a significant contribution to the development and delivery of an effective utility helicopter force for New Zealand. Early in his career, he developed expertise across the complete range of helicopter crewman trade skills, establishing himself as a tradesman, crew member, and instructor, leading to his commissioning as the first helicopter crewman officer. In 2007, he became a foundation member of the Helicopter Introduction into Service Project team. In this capacity, he was responsible for planning the transition of the Air Force from the Huey and Sioux helicopters to the new A109 and NH90 aircraft, with a focus on cabin configuration and systems, and helicopter crewmen training and safety. He maintained involvement with this project as Executive Officer of the Helicopter Transition Unit, as Operations Flight Commander of No. 3 Squadron and Standards Officer at 488 Wing Ohakia. Following the 2010 Anzac Day helicopter tragedy, he provided support to the families of those involved and led the team that addressed findings of the subsequent Court of Inquiry. As Commanding Officer of No. 3 Squadron since January 2017, he has had responsibility for introducing several operational capabilities for the NH-90 helicopter that were required for the aircraft to receive type certification. Group Captain Cannon has managed the unit through one of its busiest periods of service, balancing timely completion of tasks while safely delivering new capabilities. Group Captain Mike Cannon, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture is concluded.
Our honours system is our nation's highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces values and behaviours that sustain our communities and help our nation thrive and prosper. And these include service, courage, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of knowledge and excellence. By using their talents to make ours a better society, whether by service to their communities or by their leadership in diverse fields of endeavour, or commitment to excellence in their field of expertise, our recipients have set a fine example encouraging others in their own endeavours. Today, we've recognised a member of the New Zealand Defence Force who's displayed outstanding leadership and dedicated service to our country. His contribution is valued by all New Zealanders. To the recipients, it's been a privilege to hear your stories today. You've demonstrated determination, commitment, and compassion in your daily lives. In your own way, each of you has helped to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place to live. In some cases, your influence and the positive impact of your work has extended beyond our shores. Your actions and the stories we've heard reflect the spirit of the words of Nelson Mandela when he said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It's what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." On behalf of all New Zealanders, I thank you for helping to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place to live. Whether by dedicating your lives to the public good, achieving distinction in your chosen field, or inspiring others with your leadership. Please wear your insignia with pride, knowing that your contributions are recognised and valued, and others are inspired by your example. Thank you, everyone. That almost brings to a close the formal part of today's ceremony, but before we break, may I ask you to stand and we'll sing our national anthem.